Welcome, Sats Geniuses, to question number 11. Amina is shopping and she says, I would like to buy 1/4 of a kilogram of cheese. Write 1/4 on the scales as a decimal. Well, a quarter, you should know that if this was a pizza, you're doing 1/1 divided by 4 because it's a quarter. And you might know that it is 0.25. But if you don't know it's 0.25, you could actually do 1/1 divided by 4 as a bus shelter. So a whole 1 divided by 4. Now let's see where this takes us. 4's into 1 won't go because it's bigger than 1. But because you haven't used the 1, you carry the 1 to the next column. But you can't just put that 1 in an empty column. So you fill the empty column in with a 0. But you can't just put a 0 on the end of 1 because that's now turning it into 10. And it's not 10 whole pizzas we're dividing by 4, it's 1 whole pizza. So you need to put a decimal point in to keep it being worth 1 whole pizza. 1.0 is 1 whole pizza. And if you're going to have a decimal point there in the question, you're going to have a decimal point up here as well, lined up. And now we can carry on. 4's into 10 goes twice, remainder 2, so you carry the 2, but you can't put the 2 in an empty column. You put a 0 to fill in the empty column, and that now makes 20. 4's into 20 goes 5 times. And we're finished, 0.25. And that's why 1/4 is 0.25. You can actually do any fraction into a decimal using this same method. If you wanted to do 1/3, you would do 3's into a whole 1. If you wanted to do 1/5, you would do 5's into a whole 1. If you wanted to do 1/8, you would do 8's into 1 whole 1. Same method works every single time to turn a fraction into a decimal. Let's see what the second part of the question is asking us to do. The cheese costs £1.35. Amina pays with a £2 coin. How much change should she get? Now what you could do is build that £1.35 back up to £2. So if you plus 5p, that would take you to £1.40. And then from £1.40 up to £2, that's going to be another 60p. So it's going to be the 5p plus the 60p, so it's going to be 65p, which you could also write as 0.65 with a pound sign in front of it. Sometimes the answer box doesn't contain any units and you have to choose the units, but you have got to put some units on. You can't just put 65. If you're going to put 65, you have to put 65p, and you can't put 0.65. If you're going to put 0.65, you've got to put the pound sign in front of it. Okay, so the other way you could have done that as a quick column method to double check. So you could have gone 2.00, which is £2, take away 1.35, £1.35, 0 take away 5 we can't do, so you borrow. Now you can't borrow from this 0, so you borrow from the 2. Borrow from the 2 becomes a 1, and the 1 we just borrowed makes this into 10. Now you still can't do the first 0 on the end, take away 5. So you need to borrow from the 10, make that a 9, and that now makes 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 3 is 6. 1 take away 1 is nothing. Put your decimal point in, £0.65.